Hello students, today we will start the chapter number 9, Force and Laws of Motion. Here we observe the two scientists Galileo and Sir Isaac Newton. Now first, what is force? Force is nothing but a push or pull on a body is called force. So here in observe, that is push or pull, that is something the applications we can be apply in our day-to-day life. Now effects of force. A body at rest can be moved by a force. A body in motion can be stopped by a force. See the figure properly. A body in motion can be changed in its direction of motion by a force. Another example, a body that is spring can be changed, that is stretched in both the side in its shape or size by a force. By applying the force, spring is stretched, and by applying the force it can be compressed. A body that is can be changed in its shape or size by a force. So here effects of force, it means that here we have to observe from all these applications, we conclude that a force can move a stationary body, a force can stop a moving body, a force can change the speed of a moving body, a force can change the direction of a moving body, a force can change the shape and size of a body. Now force. A force is an influencing agency which tends to move a stationary body, or which tends to stop a moving body, or which tends to change the velocity, the speed or and direction of a moving body, or which tends to change the shape and size of a body. It is known as the force. Balance force. If the resultant of all the forces acting on a body is zero, the force is called a balance forces. Here we can observe the figure here, that is one table, and on the table there is a one block. So in all the direction we observe the forces, that is upward direction, that is the reaction force, and downward direction, that is weight force, we can be observed. And in both the side, both the forces are in opposite, that is equal force are applied. So the block on the table is acted upon many forces. Here, when a body at rest is acted upon by balance forces, the body is not displaced, that is the body remains stationary. Second, when balance forces acts on a body moving with constant velocity, that is uniform motion, they do not produce any acceleration on the body, that is the body continues to move with the same speed and direction. We take example of the raindrop. So when a raindrop falls from cloud at a greater height, the drops at first gain velocity due to gravity of the earth. After falling through some height, a stage called equilibrium occurs when downward weight of the drop is balanced by the upward forces such as upthrust and viscous force. The net force acting on the drops will be zero, and hence no more acceleration is produced on the drops. Therefore, the raindrop moves with constant velocity, which was last gained by the drops just before reaching equilibrium conditions. So these are the example. Now can you imagine the speed of the raindrops while reaching of the earth if they continue to move only under the actions of gravity? Suppose the clouds are at the height edge, that is 3000 meter, approximately 3 kilometer, accelerate due to gravity, that is 9.8 meter per second square. Let us consider the initial velocity, that is u is equal to 0 meter per second. Then final velocity is given by from the equation, that is the equation v square equal to u square plus 2gh. This equation we have to already derive in chapter number 8, that is in motion. So v square equal to, we have to apply this value, that is initial velocity, that is 0 square, g value 9.8, gravity, and height is 3000 meter. Okay, and finally we can obtain the answer, that is velocity is equal to 171.5 meter per second. Now this is converted into 617 kilometer per hour. A raindrop with such a height velocity is faster than a bullet and car through a human skull. Through the balance forces cannot produce motion in a stationary body. A moving body that they can, however, change the shape of the body. When a ball is pressed between the hands, the forces are balanced. The ball is changed its shape and size. As we know that, this is an example. Now we discuss about the balance forces. Unbalanced forces, if the resultant of all the forces acting on a body is not zero, the forces are called unbalanced forces. Unbalanced forces can move a stationary body or they can stop a moving body. When we talk of force acting on a body, we usually mean an unbalanced forces. When the total force on the plane is in one direction, the force is called the unbalanced. Now here you have to observe this figure. That is example it is given. That is upward force, that is lift, downward that is gravity, that is weight force, and upwards that is forward force, that is thrust, and backward force, that is a drag. So this is the unbalanced forces changes the motion of the plane. For instance, when thrust is greater than drag, it is the unbalanced force that causes the plane to speed up or accelerate. In addition, as the velocity of the plane increases, the lift force increases and becomes the unbalanced force that causes the plane to fly. Now here, that is unbalanced forces, the example it is given, that is a one table and one block is kept on the table, that is upward direction, that is a reaction force, and weight force, that is acting in downward direction. Here with the, that is right hand side, okay, that is we have to apply the force. The weight of the block is balanced by the reaction by the table on the block, as long as the applied force F is less than the frictional force. The block is not moved. When the applied force is just equal to the friction, the body may move with the uniform velocity. When the applied force is greater than the friction, the body moves with the acceleration. Now inertia. Here inertia is inherent property of a body due to which the resist a change in state of rest of uniform motion. Inertia can be understood in parts with inertia of rest and inertia of motion. Mass is measure of the inertia of the body. However, objects have more inertia than the lighter objects. So here on this basis, that is Newton, first law of the Newton, it stated that He stated that an object remains in the state of rest or of uniform motion in straight line unless compelled to change that state of an applied force. Here, there is one example is given, that is a stone of size of football has more inertia than the football. Second example, that is cricket ball has more inertia than rubber ball of the same size. Inertia of the rest there will be. So here we will compare that. Stone of size of football has more inertia than the football, and cricket ball compared to the rubber ball. Okay, so inertia will be different. Here the example will be given, there will be here, that is only the carom coin at the bottom of a pile is removed when a fast moving carom coin, that is striker, hits it. Now another example there is, when the card is flicked with the finger, the coin placed over it falls in the tumbler. Here the inertia of the coin, that is here we take the one glass and one paper, that is we should be kept on the glass, and on the glass we take the 5 rupees coin, that is it is heavy metal, and we apply the force, that is one side force we should be applied. Okay, so the card is flicked with the help of the fingers, the coin is kept inside the glass. Now one more example related to the inertia, that is a passenger in a bus jerks backward when the bus starts suddenly, because the passenger tends to be inertia of rest, whereas the bus is moved away forcefully. Second example, when a bed sheet is flicked away suddenly, dust particles fall away as they tend to be in inertia of rest. When a branch of tree carrying a mango is suddenly flicked, mango falls off due to inertia of the rest. So all this example related to the inertia of rest. Another example of inertia of the motion, that is a passenger in a bus jerks forward when the bus stops suddenly, because the passenger tends to be in inertia of motion, whereas the bus is stopped forcefully. Second example, an athlete after reaching the finishing the point cannot be stopped suddenly, or if he stops suddenly, then he falls stopping heads down. A car takes some time and moves through some more distance before coming to rest, even after the application of brakes. A rotating fan continues to do so for some more time even after the current is switched off. Another example, that is oscillating simple pendulum. Bob does not halt at the mean position but continues to move further. Related to the car and bus, when a car and bus turns around a sharp corner, we tend to fall sideways because of our inertia is continuous to move in a straight line. Another example, that is it is dangerous to jump out of moving bus because the jumping man's body is in the state of inertia of motion, but the legs are suddenly stopped by the ground and hence it topples down. So all these are related example of the inertia of the motion. Now momentum. Momentum P is equal to mv. P is the momentum, small p is the momentum, m is the mass and v is the velocity. P is equal to mv. So momentum is the quantity of motion in a body and it depends on its mass and velocity. Momentum of body is defined as the product of its mass and velocity, that is P is equal to mv. P is the momentum, m is the mass and v is the velocity. Momentum is directly proportional to the mass. Now example we take, if a cricket ball and tennis ball, you should compare it, cricket ball and tennis ball, move with the same velocity. Momentum of a cricket ball is more because its mass is larger than of the tennis ball. Momentum is directly proportional to the velocity. P is equal to mv. The P is the momentum, directly proportional to the velocity. We take example to compare the cricket ball. Okay. If two cricket balls move with a different velocity, that is both the ball velocity will be different, then the momentum of the ball with greater velocity possesses more momentum. If a body is at the rest, its velocity is 0 and hence its momentum is 0. But every moving body possesses the momentum. Momentum is a vector quantity. SI unit of momentum is kilogram into meter per second. As we know that the mass is measured in kilogram, velocity measured in meter per second. So the SI unit of momentum is kilogram into meter per second. In CGS unit, that is gram centimeter per second. The rate of change of momentum of body is directly proportional to the applied force and take place in the direction in which the force acts. This statement is known as the Newton's second law of motion. That is force directly proportional to change in momentum per time taken. That is force, the symbol of force is capital F, proportional the change in momentum, that is delta P, and time, that is small t, that is F proportional delta P upon T. So F proportional, now change in momentum, that is delta P is mv minus mu upon T. So F proportional, now take m common, that is v minus u upon T. But as we know that the acceleration, the change in momentum per, that is change in velocity per unit time, that is a is equal to v minus u upon T. You have to apply. So F is proportional m into a. Now we to remove the proportionality constant, we should be add the constant k should be add. So F is equal to kma. Now we take the value of the force, that is 1 Newton, and value of the mass we should be take the 1 kilogram, and acceleration value we should be take 1 meter per second square. Then F we should be obtained, that is k is equal to 1 should be obtained. So the relation F is equal to m into a. F is equal to m multiplied by a. M is the mass, a is the acceleration. So force is equal to mass into acceleration. And from this relation we can be obtain the acceleration is equal to F upon m. The acceleration produced in a body is directly proportional to the force acting on it and inversely proportional to the mass of the body. Force is a vector quantity. Force can cause acceleration or deceleration. Example, accelerated of car accelerate it and brakes decelerate it. The SI unit of force is Newton. 1 Newton is defined as the force which can, acting on a body of mass 1 kilogram, produce an acceleration of 1 meter per second square in it. Now we take example related to this. Place an 100 gram of your outstretched palm. The force you feel is nearly 1 Newton. Now application of Newton's second law of motion. That is a cricket player, that is fielder, moves his hands backward on catching a fast moving cricket ball. So here the ball and fielder, that is catch the ball. A fast moving cricket ball has a large momentum. In stopping the cricket ball, its momentum has to be reduced to 0. When a player moves his hands back, the time taken to stop the ball increases and hence the rate of change of momentum decreases. That is, the force exerted by the ball on the hands decreases. So the hands of the player do not get hurt. Another application of the second law of motion, a high jumping or long jumping athlete is provided either a cushion or a heap of sand on the ground to fall upon. The cushion or sand helps to increase the time in which the momentum comes to zero. This decreases the rate of change of momentum and hence the force, so the athlete does not get hurt. Another application, packing material like thermocol, corrugated sheets, bubble plastic sheet, straw, paper strands, etc. are used to while packing the glassware, chinaware, electronic devices, etc. Because of these materials helps to increase the time in which the momentum comes to zero. When jolting and jerking take place, the decreasing the rate of change of momentum and hence the force. So the articles of like a glassware, chinaware, electronic devices do not get broken. Now we take Newton's third law of motion. So statement is like that, to every action there is an equal and opposite reaction. The statement means that every interaction, there is a pair of forces acting on the two interacting objects. The size of the forces on the first object equals the size of the force on the second object. The direction of force on the first object is opposite to the direction of the force on the second object. Forces always come in pairs, equal and opposite, that is action and reaction, force pairs. So here we should write the note, that is action and reaction are just forces. The forces always occur in pairs. The force action and reaction do not act on the same time. Action and reaction acts on different bodies but simultaneously. Though action and reaction forces are equal in magnitude, but they do not produce equal acceleration in two bodies on which they act. Take example here, that is action and reaction forces are equal and opposite forces. Okay, so both this, that is reaction force also 58 gram weight and action force, that is 58 gram weight. So these are action reaction forces are equal and opposite. So reading will be same of the spring balance. That is here, that is one ball here and we throw the ball. Okay, that is action. And what is the reaction? The ball will be comes in backward direction, that is in action and reaction. Both the forces are equal. Now that is a gun here, a forward force on the bullet and recoil of the gun. So here initially that is the accelerating force on the bullet, that is action. And what is the reaction? Recoil the force on the gun. Now we have to identify what is the action reaction, what is the reaction. So upward force, that is the action, and what is the, that is backward force, that is the reaction, that is a rocket. Okay, you have to observe that. So gas produced due to the combustion of fuel in rocket comes out with the tremendous speed with the help of this Newton's third law of motion. Now with the help of the Newton's third law of motion, we can be observed, that is we can be walk, we can be run. Okay, so that is action and reaction, that is forward motion, action and reaction forces vertical, that is component of reaction, weight, horizontal component of the reaction. These are the forces, that is action and reaction mean, and we can be walk on the footpath or the road. Another example, that is as the sailor. Sailor jumps in forward direction. The boat moves backward direction, that is action and reaction. Both forces are equal and opposite direction. Another example, that is horse and the cart, that is one problem. That is another example, that is a horse is urged to pull a cart. That is a horse said that the horse refuses to try. That is citing Newton's the third law as his defense. The pull of me on the cart is equal to, but opposite to the pull of the cart on me. It can never exert a greater force, that is action and reaction are always equal. On the cart, then it exert on me. How can I ever see the cart moving? Asked the horses. So how would you reply that? So for that, here you see the picture that will be here, action and weight, action, that is reaction forces, weight forces of the cart first. Okay, so observe the cart that is in backward direction, that is force. So why do you educate the horse properly? So weight of the cart, that is WC. Okay, that is weight of the cart acting in downward direction, balanced by the reaction force, that is upward direction, that is RC, on the cart offered by the ground. Now forward force on the ground or the horse on the cart, that is THC, is balanced by the reaction pull of the cart on the horse, TCH. Okay, horse, that is a forward pull, the force, that is HC, means horse and cart. Okay, horse to cart. And what is TCH? The force, that is cart to horse. If the force pushes the ground in slanting manner, that is action, and the reaction offered by the ground is resolved in vertical and horizontal component. The vertical component, that is V, balance the weight force, and the weight of the horse is WH. If the horizontal component H is greater than the friction, that is small f, then the horse cart system will move forward with the acceleration. Now law of conservation of the momentum, that is when two or more bodies acts upon one another, then total momentum remains constant provided no external forces are acting on them. Here, that is the two car, that is large body and small body. So let us start. Suppose a big and small car move in the same direction with the different velocity. Let the mass of the bigger car is m1 and initial velocity is u1. Let the mass of the smaller car be m2 and the initial velocity is u2, such that u2 less than u1. Suppose both the car collides for a short time interval small t. Due to the collision, the velocity will change. Let the velocity after the collision be v1 and v2 respectively. Here, suppose that during the collision, the bigger car exerts a force F1 on the smaller car, and in turn, the smaller car exerts the force F2 on the bigger one. When the force F1 acts on the smaller car, its velocity changes from u2 to v2. Now, according to F is equal to m into a, we should be observed, that is F1 is equal to m2 a2. So F1 is equal to m2. Now acceleration, that is v minus u upon t. From this relation, v2 in place of a2, we should write here v2 minus u2 upon t. When the force F2 acts on the bigger car, its velocity changes from u1 to v1. Therefore, F2 is equal to m1 a1. That is F2 is equal to m1 multiplied by v1 minus u1 upon t. According to the Newton's third law of motion, as we know that both the forces are equal and opposite, that is action and reaction are equal in magnitude and are in opposite direction, that is F1 is equal to minus F2. So compare these two equations, that is m2 multiplied by v2 minus u2 upon t is equal to minus m1 multiplied by v1 minus u1 upon t. Now cancelling t both the side, we obtain m2 into bracket v2 minus u2 is equal to m1 into v1 minus u1. So here m2 v2 minus m2 u2, we should obtain m1 v1 minus m1 u1. So we should write here m1 u1 plus m2 u2 is equal to m1 v1 plus m2 v2. So here from this equation, that is a total momentum before the collision and total momentum after the collision, both are equal. Here m1 u1 is the initial momentum of the bigger car. M2U2 is the initial momentum of the smaller car. M1V1 is the final momentum of the bigger car, and M2V2 is the final momentum of the smaller car. Now here is one activity there will be here. We should take the one test tube, that is good quality of the glass material, and place a stop cork at the mouth of it. Suspended the test tube horizontally by the two strings. Now heat the test tube with the burner. So after some times water will be vaporized and the cork blows out, that is push. Observe that the test tube recoils in direction opposite to direction of the cork, that is force, that is backward forces. So here observe difference in the velocity the cork appears to have and that of the recoiling test tube.